I'm learning from you as much, if not more, than you're learning from me. And that is something I can't even explain, the gratitude that I have behind it. Hey, sweet mama. Welcome back to another episode of Mama Mindset. I'm your host and creator, Amy Cawthorn, and I'm so excited for today's episode because this is episode number 100. I cannot believe that we're here. Cannot believe that we're here. It is incredible to think about and reflect on the last 99 episodes that I've done. And I wanted today to kind of recap some of that, but also to talk about the lessons that I've learned along the way. And what I'm hoping that you get from this is some inspiration for you to pursue the things that you're passionate about and to pursue the things that you're interested in also, because there is a way to do those things and still live a life that you want to give to your children. There is still a way to do this by being a full-time mom and a stay-at-home mom. And I want to show you that it's possible with a little bit of, well, I say a little bit, a lot of effort. But if you're doing something that you love and you do something that you're passionate about, then it makes the entire house a better place. The whole entire space, the energy around it can transform and grow. So I know typically on Thursdays, I do my interviews or I have an expert that comes on and you guys get to hear from somebody else. But today for this episode, because it fell on a Thursday and we do episodes on Thursdays, I just wanted to share with you what I've learned. sort of do like a self-interview type thing. That's basically what I did. I kind of interviewed myself and really sat down and thought, what did I learn in the last 100 episodes that would then be beneficial to my listeners, my sweet mama friends? So I hope you find value in this, and I hope you can take some of this and find your motivation in moving forward to pursue something that you're interested in. But what I want to do first is actually talk about some really cool information so you get some context and some background as to where we started. And I started with nothing, okay? Zero. Zilch, no downloads, no following, no nothing. A lot of podcasters come at this. They already have a business, they already have courses, and this is just like another thing that they want to add to it. But I just dove into podcasting, speaking my truth, being vulnerable, and putting myself out there to help women, to help moms just like you with nothing, not a listener, but the supportive, amazing, wonderful kindness from my husband. And we went from, so I'm just going to read some numbers for you to kind of put this all into context. But I started this in February of 2021. So just last year. And so in under 11 months, we've obviously grown drastically, which is insane. It's blown my mind. But I started the month of February with 47 downloads. 47 for the whole month. And I was ecstatic. I was so excited that I reached that many people. And it was a big deal. It is a big deal. And I'm not taking anything from that, but I had 47 downloads, 0 followers starting out for that very first month. To put it into context for the growth that we're seeing within this community, because I think it's important for you to know that there are this many women out there that think like you, that are going through the same things that you're going through all at the same time. But in the month of January, and it's not even a full month yet, we will push, if not surpass, 4,000 downloads in 1 month. 1 month. Okay. So I know we just celebrated 10,000 downloads, which was amazing, but the momentum has just absolutely built and just keeps increasing. And we are now going to be over 13,000 downloads by the time this podcast goes out. Okay. By February. So that it just blows my mind. In 11 months, we'll have hit 13,000 downloads. And I just can't believe it. So who are we reaching? That's the other question. Is it just people in my local community? Absolutely not. Okay. As of this recording, we are reaching 1,015 cities, and that number grows every single day. 1,015 cities have women just like you, like-minded women, like-minded mamas, just like you. 1,015 cities and growing. This is just the beginning of this community, of this group, of this movement. 54 countries and territories are listening to this podcast. 54 countries and territories, people all over the world, not just cities within the United States. People all over the world are listening to this. Moms all over the world are reaching out to me saying, I live here, and I love what you're saying, and I couldn't agree more. All over the world, these women are coming together. It could make me emotional. Seriously, as I talk about this, it could make me emotional just knowing that there are so many of us out there that feel the same. And we're just going to grow and develop and be on this journey together within this community. And together, we're going to raise these amazing children that are going to help build up these communities and make this world a better place. Okay. Because we need that now more than ever. We need that. And your role as a stay-at-home mom, as a full-time mom, is impacting all of this. Okay. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you so much for listening to it, for being part of this group and being part of this community. So what I want to share with you now is what I've learned along the way. And you can take this and you can apply this to anything that you're interested in pursuing in the future or now. So the first thing that I'm going to list, I have 5 of these, 5 lessons learned. And that's just what I'm going to list and talk about today. There's dozens more, you guys. There's so many lessons that I've learned in this, and it's incredible. But this first one is that money is not evil. Money is not a bad thing. And money actually allows me to help you. Money allows me to help more people, to reach more people. And you have to have money in order to serve others. Okay. But I had this idea before that making money or having money or whatever is evil, and it's not. I'm realizing more now than ever that in order for me to continue to grow this, and in order for me to serve you and bring you content and bring you quality guests, I have to have money in order to do that. And that's something that I'm working on. And that I want to just be honest with you in that I am working on that component of that because it serves you. It is not bad. It helps. It helps everybody out. But I didn't feel that way before. I didn't feel that way. I just wanted this to be something I was passionate about, and I wanted this to be something that I was interested in, and just share my truth and share this vulnerability so I can help other moms, because I just felt like I have all this information in my head and I don't have anybody to talk to about it. So, Mama Mindset was born from that, from this passion and this desire. But now I know, now I'm understanding that it's more, it's bigger. It's bigger than I could have ever even imagined. And in order to do that, money, my mindset around money has shifted. It's had to shift, and it needs to continue to shift. Number 2, second lesson I've learned is to never stop asking for help. When I started this journey, I was really just seeking help from Brad, and I needed additional help, and I've needed help along the way. Now, I don't have an abundance of help, but I haven't stopped asking. I haven't stopped searching for it, and I haven't stopped really reflecting on ways that I can get help. Do I need to eventually pay for help? Do I need to keep asking those that are already in my life for help? Where are some ways that I can get help and save up some time? A very simple way that we have figured out a way to save time is, and I'm so grateful for this, but my mother-in-law does our Costco shopping for us, because she goes to Costco multiple times during the week for the business, for their business. And we just ask her for the couple. We don't need a lot from Costco. So the couple of little things that we need, it saves me so much time instead of having to cart all of the kids in with me to go to Costco. And to be honest, it also saves us money because if I go to Costco, there's so many things that I end up wanting to buy. So that's an area that I've quote outsourced, that saves me time, that gives me space, that I'm able to get a little bit of help to better support my family and also to better support this business and grow this business. So, and this community really. So saying no. So lesson number 3, saying no to something is not a sacrifice. It's an investment. So, what I mean by this, and I'll obviously elaborate, is that saying no to sleep, for example, because I needed to stay up late to do my editing, to do a recording, to do an interview, to put together show notes, to put together content, whatever, to all of this goes into serving this community and helping other women. In order for me to do that, but to still keep a balanced life between myself and my husband and my children, it has included late nights. And a lot of people will be like, well, that's a sacrifice you just have to make. And I think that is wrong. That is the wrong mindset around doing something like this, around growing something, developing something, or pursuing something you're interested in. The mindset is that it's an investment. Okay. It's an investment. So I'm saying no to sleep one night because I'm investing in this community. I'm investing in developing women that are wanting to live fulfilled lives. Okay. That's an investment. It's not a sacrifice. And I had to shift my mindset around that. And I figured it out pretty early because I'm so passionate about what I'm doing. But in your ear, in your head, everybody will say it takes a sacrifice. It takes sacrificing to get to the things you love, but it's an investment. And once you empower yourself in that way with that mindset shift, I don't want to say you're unstoppable because that sounds dramatic, but you realize it's going to take a lot more than this mindset of sacrifice to stop you from pursuing the things that you love, because sacrificing makes you feel like you're giving something up, that you're giving it up and you're never going to get it back again. Well, have I had late nights, early mornings, and days when I've been tired? Abso-freaking-lutely I have, but it's not a sacrifice that I'm making. It's an investment. And that mindset shift was huge for me. It's huge for me. And it keeps me going. It keeps me going through those hard times, those tough times that I want to give up and I want to quit, or I want to go to bed, or I want to throw the towel in, which is very few and far between, by the way, because I'm so passionate in what we're doing here and how we're growing as a community. But it does keep me going because I know it's going to help a mom. I know it's going to help a sweet mama friend who needs this. I know it's going to grow this community, which can then help another mama friend. Okay. It's an investment and I don't take that lightly. And I'm very passionate about that shift in mindset. Hey, sweet mama, I just wanted to remind you about an incredible opportunity to take these conversations one step further, to find like-minded women who want to dive deeper and pursue the things that they're interested in order to best raise our future generation. And that is with my Mama Mindset Tribe Facebook group. You can find the link in the show notes below. If you haven't already joined the group, I highly encourage you to do so. This is a free resource where you can ask questions, seek guidance, look for help, celebrate the wins of the mindset shifts that you've had, the 1% changes that you had in up-leveling your life, big things, little things, all of it. I want to celebrate all of it. I want to share all of it. We're going to ask some big questions and some participation opportunities. So if you haven't already done so, please head on over. The link is in the show notes below and join the Mama Mindset Tribe on Facebook. I look forward to having you join our tribe. One of the things that I've learned right off the bat in this growth, in this journey, is that I'm learning from you as much, if not more, than you're learning from me. And that is something I can't even explain, the gratitude that I have behind it, because it has made me a better mother. It has made me a better person. It has filled me up in ways that I didn't know that I was missing out on. And to use my knowledge and to use my mistakes, to use my setbacks as a way to hopefully help somebody else and bring inspiration to somebody else or empower somebody else, that fills me up so much. But to know that I still have a lot of work to do, and you guys are okay with that, knowing that I am a perfectly imperfect person and I am constantly growing as well. I am growing and developing as a human, as a mother, as a friend, as a wife, as a daughter. I am growing as a podcaster. I am growing, as an entrepreneur. I'm growing in all of these different ways. And I'm learning all of that from you. I'm learning all of that from you guys, whether that's from you personally or whether that's you, giving me suggestions of people that you follow, that you absolutely love, that you find inspiration in. And then I get to talk to and find inspiration in mindset shifts that I've had around life and love and loss, conversations that I've had with women who have gone through things, deeply, deeply moving and deeply powerful, that makes me want to live the best life that I have, because we only have this one opportunity. So I'm learning just as much from you as you are from me, if not more, to be honest, because I live this, I breathe this, I do this every single day. And it forces me to live my best life. This is mistakes that I'm making, shifts that I need to do, efficiencies that I can find. It's incredibly inspiring and totally holds me accountable to do the things that I need to do that are necessary and important. It doesn't give room for the bullshit. It doesn't give room for a lackluster life, because I can't be sitting back here and telling you to do all these things or to pursue all these things or to look into all these things or to have these mindset shifts if I'm not also exploring them myself. Okay. Now, let's be really honest and be completely transparent here. You guys should know by now that there's no way for me to do every single day all of the things that we talk about in the podcast. But my hope and what I have used is that there are resources that we can turn to and go back to in our lives when we need help, or when we are off balance, or we're not finding the fulfillment that we need. We can go back to these and say, nope, I need to add in my gratitude journal again because I'm not doing that. I'm struggling with this issue that I'm having and I need to do a brain dump. I haven't been doing my walking and I haven't got outside in a couple of days. I need to get some fresh air. So these are all the things that, we talk about, but I can't do these. And I don't expect you to do every single one of these things on a day-to-day basis. And I think you know that about me now, but you are helping me together. We are building a list of resources for us, ourselves, and other women who are going to be new to this community to go back to and use when they're struggling or when they're finding themselves off. So I want to say thank you for that aspect too, because I had no idea that on this journey, I would develop and grow and learn as much as I have. It just blows me away and it almost leaves me speechless, which is shocking because you guys know that I always have words, but it's just humbling. It's incredibly humbling knowing how much work I still have to do and the grace that we can all give ourselves to know that that's okay. And it's forever going to be okay that we're still learning and we're still growing. So thank you for that. And thank you for helping me and making me be a better person and grow as well. The last one that I have is a really important one if you are thinking of starting something that you're interested in or pursuing a hobby or a passion, or maybe even if it's a side business or something. If you don't want input from others regarding this new step you're going to be taking or an interest that you have, then don't talk about it. Just don't mention it. Don't talk about it. What I've learned in the podcast realm for me, because people don't always understand podcasts, platforms. People don't always, most people genuinely in my life have no idea what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do with this community and what I'm trying to grow. And I don't talk about it. I have a few friends that I talk about it with a little bit, not a lot, because I don't necessarily want all of the input. Typically, input from people, and I think this comes out of a place of love, but typically, input tends to be critical. Well, are you doing this? Do you think you should be doing this? Could you be doing this? And it's their way of connecting with you. It's their way of trying to help you and show their love and support, but it starts to make you second guess and question what you're doing and how you're doing it, and if what you're doing is the right thing. So, and some people genuinely are just mean. Okay. Some people are just genuinely mean. I don't understand what you're doing. This seems like a waste of time. You should be focusing on your children. You should be focusing on your household. Do you think you have enough time? I feel like this is going to stress you out. People tend to be very critical. Sometimes that comes from love, and sometimes that comes from a place of them just genuinely being mean and not understanding. And if you're not prepared to listen to that, if you're not prepared for that type of judgment and criticism and input, then do not talk about it. And that's okay. Talk about it with your partner, somebody that you trust, somebody that you really, really, truly trust. For example, I genuinely do not talk about this with my family, my extended family, not the family within my own household, but I really don't talk about this a lot with people outside of my home. Like I said, I talk about it a little bit with some friends. I talk about it with people when they ask and they are curious about it. Absolutely. But it's not something I typically just bring up. It's not something I go around bragging about or talking about all of the ideas that I have, because those ideas will shift. Those ideas will pivot. So Brad and I discuss those, or I discuss those with people in a safe environment, in a safe space where I feel comfortable. If, for example, I have an idea that I want to do, and then that doesn't come to fruition for whatever reason, because I've pivoted or, the community has pivoted or whatever, I don't want to feel judged. I don't want to feel like I failed. I don't want anybody to have these thoughts that are going around in their heads and then have them come to me like, I thought you were going to do this. Well, I was, and then you feel like you have to justify it, which you don't. But you're setting yourself up for a level of vulnerability that you may not be prepared for if you're just starting out. Now, as you continue down the road and you get more confident and you build up a thicker skin, then yeah, maybe you can talk about it a little bit more, because you know your truth, you know where you're going, and you know your path. You know that something that you're interested in and you're pursuing, a hobby or whatever, is something that you want to do. But when you're just starting out, unless you're prepared for input from others, I highly suggest not talking about it. Just keep it to yourself, pursue it, work on it on your own, because you don't need the validation. A lot of the times what we talk about, and I'm guilty of this, and this is why I'm talking about this is a huge lesson for me, is I've typically in the past been somebody who needs that validation, who needs the approval from my parents, a family member, all of my friends. I need the approval. And what I've had to learn in this journey is I don't need anybody's approval to do something that I want to do with my life. I don't need validation from anybody at all. I would, coaching or hiring a professional or an expert, that is valuable. Okay. That helps you build a whatever it is that you're trying to do, a business, or if you're hiring somebody to help you with a hobby. If you want to take piano lessons, you'll probably hire a piano teacher. But if you're wanting validation from somebody that you're a good piano player, chances are good that you're probably not going to get it when you first start out. Okay. And that's just going to make you feel like shit, especially in a new position of vulnerability in trying something new. You're very, very vulnerable. So if you're not ready for the input, if you're not ready for the judgment or the criticism or whatever, then don't put yourself out there and don't talk about it, because you don't need validated. You don't need permission to pursue things that you're interested in. And again, this was something that I had to learn. This was something that I had to really, really reflect on and understand that if I talk about this, people are going to question it. and people are going to not understand. And then I'm going to spend time and energy explaining it and feeling like I have to validate it, and then getting frustrated when people don't understand it, or frustrated when people talk to me or question it. And then I'm going to have to talk to Brad about my frustrations and my, the fact that I'm upset and that hurt my feelings. And it's just like, well, then don't even open the door for something like that. Keep that door closed, plow forward, doing something you're interested in, and then see what happens. Okay. Now, if you want to talk about it with a few certain people, by all means, I think that's amazing. And I do, like I said, but I'm very careful. I'm very guarded with who I speak to, how I speak to them, in what depth I speak to them about it. Maybe just as simple as, yeah, I run a podcast that helps stay-at-home moms live a fulfilled life. Okay. That might all be it. And that might be the only thing I talk about. But with other friends, I might say, just like I'm talking to you about on this podcast, I went from 0 downloads to, 13,000 downloads. Like, I might go into the nitty gritty details of the blood, sweat, and tears that has happened in this development and in this journey. So guard yourself, protect yourself, be careful with who you share your changes and your challenges with. I've had to do that, and it has really given me the space and the confidence to go within myself to find that validation, to know that I'm on the right path within myself. So I encourage you to do the same as well. So that's 5 lessons learned. Money is not evil. Never stop asking for help. Saying no to something is not a sacrifice, it's an investment. I'm learning from you just as much, if not more, as you are learning from me in this journey. And if you don't want input from others, don't ask it. Don't ask for it, and don't talk about it. So there's 5 lessons I've learned in 100 episodes on the podcast, not to mention all of the skills that I've learned in interviewing, the incredible knowledge we've gained from the expert guests, which I want to talk about that really quick. I have spoken with 27 people, 27 incredible authors, actresses, coaches, therapists, experts in their fields, everyday mom guests who have gone through incredible journeys in this journey of motherhood. I have talked to volunteers. I've talked to business owners, entrepreneurs. I've talked to some of the most amazing people in the last year, and I've held 31 interviews. If I counted it all right, up to this point, up to 100 episodes, what I've released to you, 31 interviews. That includes my husband in a couple of those, but 31 interviews. I've never done an interview or interviewed another person like this ever in my entire life. Okay. And in less than a year, I've had 31, and I've met 27 incredible people who are now part of my life, I now follow on social media and email. And these are all people that are helping me be a better person. And I'm so grateful for the universe, for bringing those people to me, for bringing them into my life. And I can't even really explain how it's all happened, but this has all added up to 100 episodes, 100 episodes. And it's just a start. Okay. It's just this incredible, monumental start to something within this community that we're just going to continue to grow. And, by this time next year, we'll be talking about 200 episodes. That means, 62 guests, closer to probably 70 people 70 interviews that I've had. We're talking about, well, let me do the math really quick. 54 people, pushing 60 people this time next year that I have in my life in under 2 years that are, all types of people living all over the world, doing all different amazing things and pursuing things that they're interested in, wanting to share their truth and helping us. And the impact of that is so mind blowing for me. It's so hard to even fathom, but you know, cheers to 100 episodes. And I am so excited for the next 100. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so grateful for all of my guests. And I hope you find some inspiration in the lessons that I've learned and you can apply this to your life or to the hobbies or the interests that you're pursuing as well. So thank you so much, sweet mamas. Thank you to everybody who has listened and has followed and supported this community along the way. I am so excited as we move out of 100 episodes and move forward. The name is going to be changing. There is so much growth coming up in the very near future, early February. So stay tuned for that. This is only the beginning. Thank you so much for listening today, sweet mama. I look forward to talking to you all again very soon.